So excited that you're here today. Jesus, as always, has a word for us, and that word that he has for us today is um, getting to know him before he gets here. And he mentioned it as an engagement. Think of when you become engaged with someone. That time of your engagement, you really is a time to get to know them more, to make sure, right, that you want to marry that person. You don't usually get married very quickly. Usually set the wedding date like a year later, and you have time to get to know that person and maybe find out that you want to break that engagement. But usually, when you get to that place, you're pretty serious about that person. And Jesus is saying today that he doesn't get that same honor. That we say a prayer, and you could call it, that's when you become engaged with him. But you never take that time to get to know him. You don't get serious enough about him, maybe even that you become engaged because you are not taking him seriously. But he looks at it as, what he's showing me, he looks at it as when you say that prayer, you become engaged with him. And that time, he takes it seriously. And he wants you to know that he does. And then he's working on your behalf. He's on your side to get you to that place where you're ready to actually marry him. When you stand before him that day, that you're ready to be his bride, that perfect bride without spot or wrinkle. And he's saying that we're just like fooling around, not getting ready, not finding out if you really want to move in with him or not. Or maybe you already do realize that you really maybe don't want to move in with him because you don't want to follow his way. He's giving you direction already and you don't want to do it. And so do you really want to marry him? Do you really want to have eternal life with him? Or would you rather not? But there's really no other choice. There's heaven or there's hell. There's Jesus or you can have your will. He gives us a choice. Either you can do his will or you can do your will. And if you don't want to seriously become engaged with him and work out all the differences that you have with him, let him recreate you in his likeness. Let him show you and teach you. When you're going to marry someone, you talk things out and you become one. You agree. You come in agreement is what I want to say. And then you work to that place where you will become one. You be in agreement. You love each other. You agree with each other, and you want to live with each other forever. And if you agree with Jesus, if you love him, then you're going to move in with him. You're going to marry him and be with him forever. But if you're just fooling around while you're here and hanging on the fence, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. Or maybe I can just wait till the last minute and then choose him. And you can't do that. You can't choose him at the last minute. And of course, that really hurts him that you have that in your mind, that you're thinking, I'll do something at the last minute. You can't. You have to figure it out now. You have to get on that narrow path with that pressure now. You have to let him show you who you are and help you to get rid of all the things that you have hanging on you from the world that you can't take with you. When you leave here, and that could happen too. You can leave here first before he comes. You have to be ready to marry him. But what I was going to say is when you leave here, there's nothing that you take with you, including physical and including your fleshly things. Like if you're walking in unforgiveness and you think that you're going to marry him, you're wrong. Because he said that you have to forgive, you have to love. That's his law. Just thinking about my mom when she left here, she was 83 years old, and she was begging God to take her. And he said, "You're not ready. You need to forgive first." And she forgave, and just a little while later, he took her home, where she wanted to be, with him, because she loved him. And if you love him, then you're going to want to do what he wants. When you're getting married to somebody on the earth, you want to compromise because you love that person. You put aside things that you want to do for them, and you put them first. That's what love is, right? And so Jesus wants that same respect, that you would put him first, that you would stop going all these other places and doing all these other things without him, just doing what your flesh wants to do. You can't take your flesh with you. And so asking Jesus to come live on the inside of you is a real commitment, and one that he is committed to. He's committed to you asking him, and I was just thinking many times we are committed when we first surrender to him, but then things get in the way. The enemy comes. Things get in the way and try to get you to stop loving Jesus. That's the enemy's objective, to take Jesus from you. Jesus said so in Mark 4. And so you have to fight. You have to fight. If you're going to marry someone on the earth and someone's trying to take him away from you, you would fight if you love that person. And if you love Jesus, you're going to fight. And you're going to put your will aside, and you're going to say, I'm going to do this no matter what it feels like, no matter how hard it is. No matter how hard it is, no matter how much pressure comes on that narrow path that leads to eternal life, I'm just going to do it anyway. And Jesus will help you, but you have to make that commitment. But yeah, when you make that commitment, the enemy's going to come and try to get you to break it. Try to get you to do what feels good. Try to get you to just go with what everyone else is doing. Because you want to fit in. You don't want to be different. And that's what'll happen. You'll be different. You won't fit in when you surrender to him. When you start walking that narrow path, other people aren't going to understand it because they can't see what you see when you commit. The enemy has them blinded. And if you haven't gotten on that narrow path yet, he's had you blinded. And all you have to do is reach out to Jesus and say, I want to marry you. Help me. Help me to put my flesh aside. Help me to care more about you than how I feel. And Jesus is looking out for your everlasting life when he corrects you. Revelation 3:19, he said, I correct those that I love, because he wants you to make it into eternal life. And many believe the lie that everybody goes, and not everybody does go. Only those who do his will. Matthew 7:21-23, not everyone who calls me Lord will enter into the kingdom of heaven, but those who do the will of my Father. And many are going to say, but Lord, I cast out demons in your name. I did this in your name. I did that in your name. And he's going to say, away from me. I didn't know you. I was paraphrasing, of course, but that's what he's saying. If you don't know him, he's going to say, away from me. If you don't know him, you're going to be doing your own will. You're going to be doing what you feel like. You're not going to be doing his will. Not everyone who calls me Lord will enter into the kingdom of heaven, but those who do the will of my Father. He doesn't want to stay away from me. That is why he's reaching out to you now to show you, get serious. Let's get serious. Let's become engaged. Let's work out our differences before it's too late. If you don't take him seriously, like, or even what I'm saying seriously, if you think, well, it'll be okay at the last minute, I can just squeeze in. No, you can't. The man in the wedding banquet was noticed right away. He didn't have it on his garment. And your garment is proof that you're right with Jesus, that you pressed through, that you were refined to be like him. That's the only way you can get in. And if not, you're going to be running to the hills. You're going to be running as far away from Jesus as you can get, and you're going to hate it that he even came. Because you weren't ready. Because you didn't choose him. Because you thought at the last minute you'd be changed in a twinkling of an eye. He's not going to do it. Don't believe lies. Don't believe what sounds good and is like, oh, it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. You have to be ready. You have to choose now. Anyway, many people think, what I was going to say is that you're going to be changed in a twinkling of an eye, and you are your fleshes because you're not taking your flesh with you. And so it's not that all of a sudden you're going to just be this perfect person. That happens here. Jesus said, grow up, be like your Father, be perfect like him, be mature. And he's saying today, be mature. If you want to marry me, then we need to get some things worked out before I get here, before the wedding date. And the other thing I want to just end with is, you might be thinking, oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that stuff. You know what? You're better off taking a chance, if you don't believe it, that it's true, and start seeking him and find out for yourself. And then you'll call me back and say, yeah, you were right. Rather than not do anything, because then on that day, you're going to be saying, but Lord, it'll be too late. Thanks for watching today.